As you watch this video, I want to share with you the story of Emily and how she healed her gut disease and her gut issues. Have you ever asked yourself, what is the root cause of gut issues? Think about this. If you have a boat and it's leaking water, the first thing you need to do is plug the hole, and then you can bail out. And then it makes more sense to bail out the water. But if all we're focusing on is bailing out the water, we're eventually going to sink. And just hear me out. Like this, we are the modern medicine community and the holistic medicine community is so confused on what is going on inside your gut that our language reflects this. So just imagine a bunch of mathematicians running around and they go, 1 + 1 = 3. 2 + 2 = 16. This is essentially what is happening in the gut health scene. And it's just simply because we haven't defined simple terms. And this is important because when I see people start to use the correct language, they start to get better. And they start to get better because they know the correct steps to take. I can't be there to hold your hand through this process the whole entire time. You know, you are off in the world by yourself. You need to have the correct knowledge to guide yourself to where you want to go. So Emily and I, think about, what value do you hold to your health? Because, for Emily and us, when we were figuring this out in our 20s, this is a time where you're supposed to be out dating, meeting your future partner, going out with your friends and stuff like that. But people like you and me, we're stuck at home and we're sick and we can't even do anything. We can't even do things we don't enjoy. We can't even get a job and make a decent salary. We can't study to promote our career and do school because so much time, maybe you just can't do it because the pain is so intense, or you just don't have the energy to do it. So how do you get from this point of misery, gut health misery? It's with the knowledge. And the foundation of that knowledge is terminology, definitions. What do these words mean? What does Crohn's mean? What does the word heal mean? What does the word cure mean? If you get any one of these words incorrect, you don't understand the definition, there is mass confusion on a global scale. And that is the plague of modern, and I don't want to offend you here, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know, but even holistic medicine, the terminology is bastardized. The terminology is corrupted, and it's hurting your ability to get better. So I want you to think, how valuable is your health to you? How important do you think it is to work with a gut health expert to get better? I have something called the Rapid Gut Healing Program, and you can talk to us inside this program. You can talk to us on a Zoom call 3 to 4 times a week, and we'll answer your questions. We'll answer your questions every single day through Facebook, a Facebook private group, and it comes with tons of educational videos. And the education and knowledge is important because it helps you get to the root cause of the problem. If you can't address the root cause, you can't get better. All you're doing is avoiding the symptoms, and that's no fun. And we can't have a conversation about the root cause until we define some certain definitions that you think you know the correct definition of, but due to the environment we're in today, we're being told the wrong things. So let's go so what's your burning question? How do I cure my Crohn's disease? How do I cure my colitis? How do I heal my gut? What does that even mean? What is wrong with the gut? You see where I'm getting at, where this is really confusing? If you ask your GI doctor, what is wrong with my gut? If you ask your holistic doctor, what is wrong with my gut? They honestly don't know. They'll say, oh, it's genetic. And then you think to yourself, why would I inherit a disease that makes me less capable of surviving? That sounds stupid. And you're right. It is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's wrong. So we're going to use the help of German New Medicine. He was a real doctor that wasn't just a drug dealer with a PhD. He actually investigated what the root cause of Crohn's disease and colitis and all these other digestive issues. But first, let's get to the basics. What does the word heal mean? It has a Germanic origin, and it means to make whole again. The word cure means to take care of. So we have the modern medicine community and the FDA telling us that it's illegal to say the word cure because we're too dumb to investigate what the root cause is and figure this out, even after shelling out billions of dollars in useless research. You can't say cure because we're too stupid to figure it out. It's insane to even have a hope or a prayer it's illegal to even hope. It's illegal to even try to heal or cure something, and it literally makes no sense when you think about what these words mean at their core. I understand words mean different things in different contexts, but are we going to talk in the context of idiots and criminals and people who are charging way too much for medications that have a 50-50 chance of doing something to your symptoms, so they're technically useless? Are we going to use these words in the context of criminals, or are we going to use these words in the context that they were originally engineered for? So when we're healing the gut, our intention is to make the gut whole again. So this is why this is so important. The words that you use to talk to other people, and most importantly, talk to yourself and talk to your brain. Your brain is a 5-year-old. It takes everything very literally. So when you say something, I want to heal my Crohn's, it doesn't really compute that. It's kind of a confusing statement. I want to heal my Crohn's. It just picks up on the keywords and it goes, okay, the gut's just gonna have Crohn's. Like it doesn't know how to, it's not clear enough, it's not distinct enough. But if we say something like, I want to heal my gut, I want to and what does that mean? I want to heal my gut. Well, what does that mean? I don't know what's wrong with my gut, what needs fixing. The brain has no idea what's going on. I want to make my gut whole again. Well, what are we making it whole from? How do I take care of my gut? Again, what context are we going to use this in a criminal context, like modern medicine is doing? Oh, you can't say cure. Well, you can do multiple things to take care of your gut. It's ridiculous. So what we're trying to do, again, how you decide to use these words is up to you. I'm just making you aware of, the dynamics that we're dealing with in the world. This is how I choose to use these words instead of the criminals. So what does the word Crohn's and colitis mean? So Crohn's was discovered by a guy named Dr. Crohn's. And he did not want Crohn's disease to be called Crohn's disease because it was stupid. It's logically dumb to call Crohn's disease because what he wanted the original definition of Crohn's disease is inflammation in the small intestine, in regions, in like different patches. So if it was in the duodenum, it would be in the duodenum, which is like the first part. And then you have the ileum, which is the last part. And then, depending on what part of the small intestine it was in, it'd be something-itis. And it'd be enteritis if it was like all over the small intestine. But this terminology just due to confusion, and it's okay to be confused about things. It's okay to be confused about things, but if you don't have a structure for the language, or if you have a language that's very confusing to follow, it leads to more confusion. And medicine has protected itself against that for thousands of years. And just in the past 100 years, drug companies, or just maybe it's, just general not knowing what's going on, they've made these terms extremely confusing. I think people are catching on that these terms don't add up. The math's not adding up. And now, what Crohn's disease means today, it means inflammation from anywhere from mouth to butthole. But that's not true, because if someone has mouth herpes, and someone has like butthole herpes, or they have hemorrhoids, if they have fissures, they're not going to get diagnosed with Crohn's disease, even though it fits the description. Even though it fits the definition, if you look it up on a website, most people only get diagnosed with Crohn's disease when they have inflammation in the small intestine and inflammation somewhere else as well. But it depends on the day, depends on the time, depends on the mood of your doctor. It just depends. You never know. It's confusing. It shouldn't be this way, but that's how it is. Colitis means inflammation of the small intestine. Okay, that's great. Now we know what Crohn's is. Now we know what colitis is. It means inflammation of of your intestines. Well, what does inflammation mean? Because inflammation, even in the holistic community, is treated as a bad thing. But inflammation is actually your body's response to an injury. It's how the body heals. It floods nutrients to an injured part of the body to help it heal. Think about this. You have an injury. You have a broken arm. You are cut. A doctor or a surgeon could do things to help aid the healing process, but the only thing that can make you whole again is your own cells. At the end of the day, the only thing that can stitch you back together is your own cells. What guides your own cells? Your doctor doesn't do it. Medications don't. They influence them, but they don't guide them. What guides your own cells at the end of the day is your brain. And again, we're going to go back to the holistic community, and I know some of you are like very sensitive about this. There's this crazy theory that your gut is the second brain, and it's bullshit. Your brain controls your gut. Your gut doesn't have a brain. The bacteria in your gut don't control your brain. Your brain controls the bacteria in your gut. It has been confirmed by microscopes and scientists that the bacteria and fungi, even the good ones and the bad ones in your gut, they're made by your own cells, and this process is governed by your brain. So when you see a holistic doctor or anybody talk, oh, we need to eat anti-inflammatory foods, that sentence logically doesn't make sense. How can a food be anti-inflammatory? It gets rid of inflammation in the body. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. How can you eat a food and, your eczema starts to act up? Oh, you hear this explanation. Oh, the toxins traveled through my bloodstream and they just decided to pop out here. That's insane. Why didn't they pop out here? Why didn't they pop out there? Why didn't they pop out there? We have to be brutally honest with our logic. And that's what Dr. Hammer did. He saw if someone had eczema, they would have a ring here. If someone had Crohn's, they would have a ring here. If someone had colitis, they'd have a ring here in their brain CT scans. And it was caused by a traumatic event that caught them off guard. And in order to help the organism survive, the person survive, the body, the brain, puts an organ into overdrive to increase its survival function, to increase your chances of survival. And now in the gut, When there's something in your life that's hard to digest, I can't digest what my boss did to me, I can't digest what my girlfriend, my boyfriend did to me, the body develops extra gut cells to help you digest and absorb this hard to digest thing in your life. This is controlled by the old brain, the lizard brain. It does not know the difference between food and things in your life. And when this thing gets resolved, the brain goes, okay, we don't need these extra gut cells anymore, and it starts to get rid of them. We're getting rid of physical flesh. And that's where the inflammation comes in. This tissue becomes inflamed, which is just part of the process of removing it, and then the original tissue around it becomes inflamed because that tissue needs to be reconstructed altogether to have it go back to its normal state again, to become whole again, homeostasis, to return to the normal state again. And it was deviated from the normal state in the first place because of this emotional conflict shock that caught us off guard. There's a big difference between someone eating some glass and things get cut up in here. The body just heals it in a couple of days and it's gone. But when people have these digestive issues, this mystery inflammation, these mystery extra gut cells, which you'll see as polyps or tumors, or you'll see as thickening of the intestinal walls. That's what will show up on your lab reports. But the point of this video is I want you to understand, I want you to start being able to point out, to be aware of good information and bad information. And to make things easy, I wouldn't listen to most people who aren't aware of German New Medicine because they're just operating on the wrong logic. They don't know what inflammation means. They don't understand that the root cause is in the brain and that it's a conflict shock, and there are certain emotions and there's certain emotional triggers that are causing the cell proliferation and the cell loss, the cell adaptation in your body and in your gut. Because if you listen to anyone else, you listen to a holistic person, they're going to go, oh, this food's going to heal your gut. And they're literally talking out of their ass because food can't heal even if you are totally unaware of holistic medicine. Food can't heal your gut. It's just stupid. It's just dumb. This is like a freaking 5-year-old talking. Food can't heal your gut. Only your cells can heal your gut. Food's important. Food, yes, it is important. It gives your cells the nutrients it needs to heal your gut. And those are important distinctions to make when foods don't, no one just eats a particular food and they get better. It doesn't work that way. No one follows a particular diet and they get that way. You'll hear people say that, but it's not true. They are avoiding the problem. The problem is they can't eat gluten, they can't eat dairy, they can't eat baby food, and they can't get better. And the way that they decide to fix the problem, they're not fixing the problem, they are avoiding the problem by not eating those foods. That is not fixing the problem, that is avoiding the problem. This is why it's so important to use terminology correctly, to guide ourselves and to guide our brain to the correct conclusions. Knowledge is power. The real fix, it's an emotional fix. And this is, I know that sounds woo-woo, gaga, sensitive BS stuff, but, I was raised in a military family. I'm a guy. I'm introverted. Emotions, blah, blah, blah. But this is it. I would not be telling you that, guys, this stuff if it wasn't it. I want you to be aware of the emotional patterns that occur when you get symptoms. When you resolve something stressful, hard to digest in your life, you are going to get symptoms because your body's getting rid of extra gut cells. And having this knowledge is going to help you keep calm when you get these symptoms, because you know you're in the healing phase, and you will get better if you manage your emotions correctly. You know that it's not the food and energy and nutrients yourself causing these symptoms, but maybe they are an emotional trigger for some reason. I had a friend who didn't react to cheese, didn't react to dairy, didn't react to bread, but they reacted to pizza. When it was all together, they reacted to the pizza. It's because he got into a fight with his friend over a box of pizza. And once he realized that, he no longer reacted to pizza, because now his mind, his brain knew pizza was safe. So this is the new way we need to start talking about your health, because your subconscious mind is listening. And remember, it's your subconscious mind that's controlling your gut. So guys, I hope you found this information good. As you start to do more research on German New Medicine, you can go to learninggnm.com, and as you watch my other videos and you start to gain this new perspective, I can help you achieve this much faster. I was not able to learn this by myself, but to give myself credit, I didn't have my own videos to watch. This will make this a lot easier. I've seen a lot of people, people in high school, people in middle school. I've seen very young people use this information and completely get rid of their gut issues. Some people it takes a month, some people it takes 2 months, some people it takes 3 months. It depends on the amount of damage someone has in their gut, and it depends on the emotional situations people are in their life right now. But I can always tell you, the quicker you learn this, the faster you will get better. And the fastest way to learn this is to work with an expert, because it's just how humans learn best. It's through trial and error, and then consulting with an expert. You go out on your own, trial and error, you work with an expert. And we are experts in German New Medicine, in gut health. Me and my coaches, we have all been using German New Medicine for a long time, and we have our own gut health. We've overcome our own gut issues, and so you can work with us inside the Rapid Gut Healing Program. There's more details on that down below. Just go down there and click on the link, and as you click on that link, you'll see all the things you get inside the Rapid Gut Healing Program. What is the value you give to your most important asset, your health? You can't do anything without it, guys. And yeah, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps promote our videos on YouTube, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.